So once you have understanding and knowledge of these softwares, you will be better able to understand the software which the company is using, and you will not be needing any kind of let's suppose learning experience for that. Maybe in a day or two you can easily catch up, because everything is very much linked. I'll quickly show you how it is linked. Now, if I talk about, so this is clear that anywhere you go, any small business you own, any career path you choose, be it in social media, be it in finance, be it in operations, be it anywhere in the world you are now currently working, you will come across these tools, and it's better to learn early rather than getting stuck in the race of it, and then understanding later on that okay, you have missed a lot of the good part of it, and you have maybe you have not actually acquired the right skills to get through a job, right? So any student, any college student, again, as I say, that it's not necessary that you need to have a science background. You can be from any domain. You can be a BCom, BBA student, economic student, stats students, or mass communication student. You can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, you can be anyone to start off this course, right? It's not only restricted to these particular proper fields. Now, once you have, enrolled, or once you have started data analytics, you're not only going to learn about the tools, obviously that's the foundation, but apart from that, you will be also learning how to use data in the real life scenario. So these are few examples over here. As you all can see, we have mentioned few topics. These are a part of the topics. The topics are very exhaustive, and it covers a lot of things. So we have just mentioned few things in the PDF. So these topics that you are seeing are the very basic topics that you're going to learn in the respective tools. So the first thing you will be starting off with is MS Office, and within MS Office, the very important tool is MS Excel. You will be seeing anyone everywhere using Excel. There is no one who is maybe, I feel, not using Excel at their work, right? So most of them are definitely using Excel. Then we have PPT. You will be seeing a lot of professionals, a lot of consultants making professional decks, and they are doing it on PPT, right? And then after that, within this, we have MS Access, we have Access, we have PowerPoint, as I mentioned, PPT, we have Word. MS Word is actually very difficult to learn. There are a lot of things which we can do with MS Word, which we don't even know. We are just using it to type simple texts, but actually you can use MS Word in a lot of ways. So that's the foundation. We are starting off with MS Office, something which is needed and something which a college student must know. After that, we build upon it. So for example, anything on Excel I'm doing on a daily basis, on a quarterly basis, I'm making reports. So for example, I'm in sales department, and I have to present to my manager that how many sales I've made across in during the entire quarter, across different let's suppose locations, different gender, and different items. So I basically want to prepare a professional dashboard. Now, every month or every quarter, I'm expected to do that. So, do you think I will waste my time doing the same thing again and again? No. So, I just have my data, have my counts ready. I will put it as a table in my Excel or in my anywhere. And then just by a click of a button, my dashboard will be prepared, right? That's what VBA also does for you. VBA is a Visual Basic uh, application for MS Excel. Now this is for Word, for PPT. So VBA is for all the softwares which are there on MS Office, but we specifically focus on MS Excel, VBA for Excel. And that's how you learn how to create small codes, you learn how to user forms, and then how to automate certain things which are very very um, manual, or which is something which you are doing on a daily basis, right? And these codes, again, when I say codes, most of you get scared that okay, I will have to write so many codes. How will I be able to do it? So it's not about the codes only. The codes are very simple, easy to read, easy to understand, English language. So I feel any commerce student can easily do it, right? Again, I'll explain at the end that what is the difference between a computer science student and someone who is learning data analytics. So I'll talk about it at the end basically. Now, other tool which is again very, very common is R programming. Now, R programming is very user friendly. You will be able to make nice charts. You will be able to do proper analysis. You will be able to create a lot of statistical. If you are towards statistics, if something you are doing is towards statistics, then R programming is a great, great, great tool. And then machine learning, you might have heard about machine learning where we say predictive modeling. We talk about NLM nowadays, which is, how people are using language oriented data to process it basically to create certain meaningful things, right? So that's basically a very, easy understanding of what NLM is all about. Predictive modeling is when you have a good database with yourself, past history, how to use that to forecast, to predict what your future will look like, something on those grounds, right? So all those things comes under machine learning, and it's basically very, very helpful when you are forecasting, when you are doing predictive modeling, when you are trying to understand, classify your data. So that way machine learning becomes very, very handy. Now, if I talk about the other tools which are also there, which are equally important, the number one is SQL. SQL is as important as Excel in today's world because, as I mentioned, that you cannot import large data sets. So once you are having more than 70,000, 80,000 rows in Excel, Excel starts crashing, right? So you need tools to alternative tools for that, which is SQL. SQL is again very easy. In our classes, we are using MySQL. You can use any other tool if you want to, which is very similar to MySQL. So in SQL, you will be learning about database management, how to create queries, subqueries, data manipulation, and the codes. I will not say codes, we use the terminology queries. The queries that we write are very simple. It's like very much English oriented. You are using words like select, delete, join. These simple, easy English words you are using to create your queries or codes. Python, extremely important. Anyone who is specifically into finance should definitely learn how to use Python in today's world because almost all the companies are using Python. So Python is very, very, very exhaustive, very, very something which can do machine learning very nicely, something which can do all the different tasks related to finance. It's very huge, and at the same time it's a little on a difficult side. When I say difficult side, meaning once you have acquired knowledge of Excel, VBA, basic SQL, or basic R programming, after that when you go to Python, then it becomes a little easier because in Python the codes that we write are on a difficult side, right? But at the end of the day, Python is something which most of the companies are using, and at the same time, very, very helpful. Something which cannot be done on any of the previous tools can be easily done on Python, and you can use real-time data on Python very, very easily. So all the people who are in finance, who are using share market data, can they definitely use Python, right? Next is Power BI. So basically, after you have done so many things, if you want to prepare certain professional text, you want to prepare proper dashboard, so you need certain data visualization tools. So we have different data visualization tools like Tableau, Power BI. So in our curriculum, we've included Power BI because first of all, it's free, right? For Tableau, you might be needing paid versions of it, but Power BI is completely free. It's a Microsoft tool, and at the same time, it's very interactive. It's very easy to learn, and you can import data from Excel directly, right? That's the reason we're using Power BI. Then financial modeling. So financial modeling is, again, I would not say very specific to students of finance. No, If you are running a small business, you are maintaining your balance sheet, you are maintaining your P&L, you are maintaining your revenue chart, your cost chart, and you are obviously forecasting how your costs will change in future, which with increase in inflation, your revenue modeling, forecasting, all these things you are actually doing. Now, instead of doing it on pen and paper, what maybe our grandfathers did, I would not even say fathers, grandfathers did, there is no point, right? So you need to automate it. You need to make it look professional. So for that, obviously, you need to learn financial modeling, and we do it on Excel, obviously. So it's very easy, but at the same time, it's again exhaustive in the sense that you are learning from the very base of cash, starting from cash flow part to obviously creating ledgers, and to obviously creating forecasting and modeling and leverage analysis, everything. So from the basic till the very end. So for example, if anyone asks you that what is actually the maybe let's suppose profitability of your company, instead of talking in vague terms, you can actually show them how your profitability chart, your revenue chart looks like after learning financial modeling, right? Then now let's talk about AI, artificial intelligence, which is something I feel everyone in today's world is learning. It's not only us, but we see our parents also, using Chat GPT. We see people around us using. That's like a very basic word that I have used over here. You have agentic AI, you have Gen AI. So all these different terminologies that I'm using now, AI has gotten so important in today's world that all these, even with these knowledge of these tools like Excel, like VBA, like Python, if you don't have proper knowledge of AI and how to integrate AI with these tools, you are still left out, because there are people who have your equal qualification. They are maybe BCom student with a CA degree, or maybe with the IPCC degree, or maybe a CFA, or maybe a FRM, or maybe someone who is from let's suppose communications, mass communications. They are definitely using AI along with these tools, as I mentioned, to make their work efficient and make it faster. Because when we talk about competition in today's world, we see people who are we want to hire people who are up to date. And when I say up to date, these knowledge of these tools are something which was uh, seen, I would say, seen very much premium 4 years back, 3 years back. 3 years back, 4 years back, anyone who had knowledge of these tools were considered okay. These people are knowledgeable. Along with their professional degree, they also have knowledge in data analytics tools. But in today's world, if anyone who is not having proper knowledge of AI, just using ChatGPT is not AI actually. So anyone who is not having proper knowledge of AI in today's world is actually left out. And that's true. That's actually true, whatever you hear on social media, blah blah blah. But that's actually true, because you are not job ready, right? So then we also have the master classes on AI on every weekend, right? Uh, we also have stock market workshops. So I'm not discussing about that in today's session, because it's mostly surrounded on data analytics and AI. If you want to know about it, you can get back to us, right? So now let's quickly understand that what is the difference, as I was talking about the difference between I think this is a very question which is very common in today's world, as among your generation. Ma'am, what is the difference between a CS student, computer science student, and someone who is doing data analytics? Now, as the word suggests, analytics, you are not supposed to go deep into how the codes are written, or maybe how the codes are coming out. You are mostly concerned with how the output is looking like, manipulate that output, interpret that output in a proper manner. So for example, let's consider myself. I am a qualified actually. So I have my domain knowledge. I have my entire in and out knowledge of my actual domain, right? But when I am using that data, I need to use it on certain tools like Excel, maybe like R programming, like Python. But once I am into R programming, into Python, I'm not asked to write all those big codes at my office. What I'm asked is run the code maybe and get the output and understand, interpret, visualize, properly prepare a deck for that particular data. But why should I now have that knowledge of, then why should I learn Python? If I'm just asking to run the code, then why should I have the knowledge of R programming and all of this stuff? Because if there is any problem in the code itself, right, so I'm at least able to read the code. I'm not someone who is just sitting in front of the laptop and just looking completely blank. At least I'm able to read the code. At least I'm able to figure out what's the mistake. At least I'm able to import the data, put it in that particular code, manipulate it a little bit, and then get the output, my desired output. And that's the entire reason of learning these tools, right? Being a data analytics student, you are not supposed, you will not be asked to write those big codes because you are not from the computer science background. Any engineering student is someone who is doing that for you. But you being from the domain, you understand what, if you are, let's suppose, someone who has done CA, so you know what are the different auditing rules, what are the current taxation rules. All of these things, the person who is writing the code, they don't understand. Or maybe who is preparing the deck, they don't understand. They just understand the coding language, but they will give you a basic format. You will have to modify it, right? And that is why you need to have knowledge of those tools along with your professional degree, right? So you are not supposed to know in and out of all these codes. You can easily generate these codes from AI. You can easily use, in your language, you can easily use ChatGPT to generate codes for VBA, for Python, for R programming. You just have to put in what do you want. But what do you want when you write? What do you want? For that knowledge also, you need to know the tool. Where to paste the code, how to execute the code, how to get the output. For these basic things, at least you need to learn these tools, right? So I hope I'm able to explain the difference between what a computer science or engineering student does and what we data analytics student does, right? Okay. So I'll quickly and make you all understand how our course structure looks like. So for the AI, we have master classes on the weekends, and the cost for the same is 5,000. The cost for the entire data analytics, which includes these tools, Excel, all the other Microsoft Office tools, VBA, R programming, SQL, Python, Power BI, and financial modeling. These tools will be given to you at 10,620. And if you are taking plus artificial intelligence, then it will cost you 14,000. Individually, if you take AI master classes on the weekends, you will be charged at 5,000, right? Basic structure. Now, there will be classes, weekend classes from industry experts, and you will be getting recorded lectures of all these tools. And then at the end, we'll be taking a test. And once you clear the test, we'll be giving you the certificate for the individual tools that you have learned. Apart from that, if there will be also certain projects given to you to understand, to get a real life hands-on experience on how to use these tools with real life database as well. And there will also be a small internship opportunity which also will be given to you. So I'll just quickly present that to you. That's basically there in your AI actually. For further details, we can, you can just drop us a message and we'll give you the brochure and everything. So you have this internship opportunity also. This is specifically for AI, right? This is specifically for AI. The sessions, the master classes are conducted on the weekend, and plus you get certain internship experience, and obviously certificate is provided for the same, right? So that's the basic course structure. If you have any questions, you can put it down in the chat box. I will also share with you all our phone number. If you have any doubt, you can, contact us on that. Yes, any specific question? Sorry. What do you mean by full bachelor's degree? From where are you willing to do it, Vidhi? Can you mention it in the chat box, please? So let me tell you all one thing. Yes, if you want to pursue bachelor's degree specifically on AI and data analytics, you can do it. According to me, my personal opinion is, as I mentioned, the difference between a computer science student and a person who is doing data analytics is that uh, it's more important that you have your domain's knowledge properly. So, if you are an actuarial student, as you mentioned, Vidhi, you will be having proper knowledge of all the actuarial exams that you have appeared for. For example, if you're also pursuing BCom along with that or economic honors along with that, you are getting additional knowledge of those subjects from your BCom or from your economic honors or whatever. Along with that, you are learning these tools, which these tools are, I would say, additional knowledge along with what your professional degree gives you. But using these, tools as your main focus is something, I would say, not correct, because if you are just focusing on these tools and not talking about your domain knowledge, then you are someone who is moving towards CS, right? Then it's again your point of view. If you want that kind of roles, then you can do it. But if you want to work in the industry, in your actual industry, or maybe in the CA industry, or maybe whatever, then there is no point. Then you can do these courses as add-on courses, right? And when I say add-on, it's basically something which is something everyone is doing, right? It's something which everyone has to do to get a better job. I hope I'm able to explain you. Yeah. Okay. But again, it's on you. If you want to go for a full-time bachelor's degree, you can do that. Uh, Isha, you can drop us. You can, as you can see, we have given the numbers over here. You can connect with us, and our counselors will explain you further. Right. Anything else? Any other questions? But when I say this, when I was in my first year, that was 2010 years back, 2016, I started off these courses at that point of time when no one was doing. So maybe only I and maybe one of my friend was there who was learning these courses. And actually, when I graduated, I got three job offers only because, so there were friends of mine who had also pursued actuarial science, who had also cleared like 8 to 9 papers as I did. But I got those three job offers only on the grounds that I know these tools at that point of time. Today, the scenario is that most of you are learning these tools, but along with that, they're not learning AI. Or maybe they are not learning these tools in a proper structured manner. They are just maybe YouTubing it, or maybe doing it through some free platforms where they don't get a proper structured program. And at that point of time, I remember exactly when I did these courses, I had given approximately 10 to 15,000, around 15,000 for all these tools that you are learning today at the same price, almost 10,620. So it's not about the cost again. It's more about why at that point I paid this much, and after 10 years also people are, we are charging this much, is because in today's world, everyone is learning these courses. So it's freely available in many of the platforms, right? But if you actually see the content is so highly valuable that the amount that we are charging is very low for that. The only reason we are charging this is because uh, you are able to learn these courses in a structured manner without thinking twice that अच्छा मुझे फ्री में मिल रहा है तो वहां से यूट्यूब से कर लेते हैं, क्योंकि वो जो आप यूट्यूब से करोगे will not be very much in a nice manner, right? If you are understanding what I'm trying to say. So that's it. If you have any such questions, please drop us. Next AI batch RT, I'm not very sure about when it is starting. Maybe this weekend, maybe or maybe not. Maybe okay, coming weekend because today is Saturday, anyways. You can again connect with us RT on the above mentioned numbers, and we'll send you the AI details. Right. Thank you so much, guys. One more thing. You have to put in every day 1.5 hours, not more than that, if you want to learn these different tools. That's it. Right? Thank you so much. If you have any further questions, you all can just connect with us on the numbers as I've given. Right? Okay. Bye bye.